Numbers chapter 24. Numbers chapter 24. And we're going to start. Matter of fact, let's go back. We're going to 24. Let's go to 23, just so we can see what was happening, what's going on. All right. Remember, he's going there, keep moving them having them do sacrifices and all this stuff because Balak is trying to get Balaam to curse Israel. All right. He's trying to get Balaam to curse Israel. Right. But there's a problem, that's happening, but the king is still being persistent. All right. Because he needs Israel to be cursed. But let's start at verse. Let's start verse 23. All right. Numbers 23 and 23.
Truly, there is no enchantment against Jacob, neither is there any divination against Israel. According to this time, it shall be said of Jacob and of Israel, what have God wrought?
All right, that's clear. So right from the jump, you already told him there's no enchantment against there's no enchantment against Israel. There ain't no divination. You can't that don't work on them. That's something we need to know. Divination, all that kind of enchantment stuff. Nope. So I don't worry about it. People get all I don't need to worry about it. That it has no power. All right. So they can shake them chicken bones and throw all these stuff, get these cars and try to curse it. They can't curse us. All right. So there's no enchantment against Jacob. There's no divination against Israel. Verse 24.
Behold, the people shall rise up as a great lion, and lift up himself as a young lion. He shall not lie down until he eat of the prey, and drink of the blood of the slain.
All right. He's saying the people shall rise up as a great lion. All right. And he gonna get up what? Eat like the prey, he gonna drink the blood. Okay, so he said this is the people you over here messing with, and this is how they're gonna respond. All right, but he's giving an answer, and this is sometimes, beloved. I know this is dealing with a wicked king that's trying to do wicked against Israel, but sometimes us Israel, we fall into some of these Gentiles and how they do things and things like that, right? Got the answer. Sometimes we ain't satisfied with the answer, so we think we're gonna keep going to God or his messenger or whatever, and think we're gonna make him change his mind, change his answer after he gave us the answer. Okay, so beloved, that's you fall into what? You're going to go into your own delusion of things. Okay, so we're going to make sure if you get something from God, accept it. The next prayer maybe should be, Lord, teach me how to accept your will. Okay, not to change the answer, not to switch it around so it can benefit. Lord, teach me to accept your will. He knows if it's tough, beloved. Right? He knows certain things he asks and requires of us to this flesh is very hard. But he also said he made a way that we can what? Escape. Mm-hmm. So that means no matter what, he has something for us. He ain't doing those setup things where I'm gonna give you this and you're just gonna fail. Nah, he has a thing that's set up. Sometimes we're so panicking over the situation or the problem that we don't what? We're not even seeking for that solution. All right. So sometimes, like I said, we have to take our time, be sober-minded in the spirit, so we can think clearly and sober-minded in the spirit. Okay? But let's keep going. Let's keep going.
And Balak said unto Balaam, neither curse them at all, nor bless them at all.
Balak, he ain't cursing, don't curse them or bless them. Keep going.
But Balaam answered and said unto Balak, told not I thee, saying, all that Yahweh speaketh, that I must do?
And I tell you, I'm just a messenger. All right. I'm just speaking with the Lord saying, I don't have no personal thing in this. All right. And that should be how the messages of God are today. All right. Your preacher, your teacher do not have that authority to just start saying, do what he wants. No. Emphasis on messenger of God. All right. All you can be is either a good messenger or a bad messenger. All right. Same prophet, false prophet. What's the difference between a good teacher, bad teacher, false prophet, good minister, bad minister? It's the what? Am I keeping the message the same when I got it? All right, or where I got it from? Or am I switching the message? Okay. Some of them got the right message, as in they got the same book that we have, the same wording. It's the messenger that goes and perverts it and put their little thing on it. Okay. That's when you judge the messenger. But if the messenger is just repeating the words, right, repeating the same thought the Most High have, then if you have an issue, that's with the actual message. And that's dealing with what? The Most High God. All right. And we see how God was dealing with Israel when they was coming at Moses, like he was just saying his own thing. All right. So once again, got to be very mindful of that. But let's keep going. Let's keep going.
And Balak said unto Balaam, Come, I pray thee, I will bring thee unto another place. Peradventure, it will please God that thou mayest curse me them from thence.
Let's go to another spot. Then I can get my way. All right. Let me go to this congregation. Then I can do what I really want to do anyway. Right. All right. So let's see if the location is going to change the message. All right. Because some people think I'm going to change. Well, if you're done with church world, you can go to a different spot and it will change the message. But, let's look. The Most High message is going to change because they go to a different location. All right. But let's read. You can finish this off.
And Balak brought Balaam unto the top of Peor, that looketh toward Jeshimon. And Balaam said unto Balak, Build me here 7 altars, and prepare me here 7 bullocks and 7 rams. And Balak did as Balaam had said, and offered a bullock and a ram on every altar.
So once again, talked about the emphasis. I don't know why exactly, but we know the 7. See, God used that number, right? Sometimes dealing with completion, right? 7 days, right? Sabbath, all those kind of things. So this is why sometimes we want to read these things and see the Most High give us little gems and things. Okay, so with this one, he's saying this ain't Balak coming up with this. This is Balaam commanding Balak. All right, listen, I want you to get 7 altars, 7 bullocks, 7 rams. Okay, so once again, we see that the Most High had to be kind of orchestrated because that's one of his things. Okay. All right, let's go to the next chapter. All right, the chapter that we are focusing on for this evening. All right, Numbers chapter 24, and we're starting at verse 1. Anybody have anything before we start? We're good, we're good, we're good. All right.
And when Balaam saw that it pleased Yahweh to bless Israel, he went not, as at other times, to seek for enchantments, but he set his face toward the wilderness. And Balaam lifted up his eyes, and he saw Israel abiding in his tents according to their tribes. And the Spirit of God came upon him.
Mhm. So this is good. This Balaam character, he's a mysterious character. I wish we knew more about. They gave more about him, but nonetheless, um, he saw it and pleased Yahweh to bless Israel. All right, we can go to a little bit of detail later on, but he caught that. He's like, man, this is pleasing for to bless Israel. All right, he said he didn't go as he usually goes. Listen, he didn't go as other times. So there was times he went and to seek for enchantments. So this is why it's kind of weird with him, right? Because I believe he was dealing with some other stuff. Okay. But with this, Most High can still use him in a sense because he's giving the message to him. All right. That's all he's doing, giving the message to him. All right. But he's saying this time he ain't even going like he usually do at other times. This one, he just what? He set his face toward the wilderness, where he was at. Lifted up his eyes and saw Israel abiding in the tents. And what happened? The Spirit of God hit him. All right. That should be something that's even looking at that, beloved. Look how powerful it is. If we really doing this thing, right, doing this thing right, really meaning business with God and really wanting the Spirit to abide upon us, there's going to be some times where somebody could just see us dealing with us and the Spirit of God will hit them. They can get impacted by just seeing it. Listen, Israel didn't say a word. He just went and seen them. Spirit of God hit him. That's the kind of impact we are supposed to be what? Having, because we dwell in the Spirit. You're going to get sometimes people like, man, there's something about you. All right. Now, some people just carnally in their flesh, they might be saying something about you because they like you, right? But there's going to be some that say, man, that's, I don't know. I feel like it's a certain calmness I have around you. I feel like, or I feel like I can just talk to you and everything, right? Those kind of things. Sometimes they don't know. They can't articulate how they're, what it is, but you should know. When you go to Daniel writing, it says they seen an excellent spirit upon Daniel. What is that excellent spirit, beloved? That's the Holy Spirit that we deal with. All right. This is why he's saying, let our light shine, that men can see it, our good works. Right? They're going to see it by us making sure we're staying in the spirit and doing what God told us to do. All right. But let's keep going. Let's keep going.
And he took up his parable and said, Balaam, the son of Beor, have said, and the men whose eyes are open have said, he have said, which heard the words of God, which saw the vision of the Almighty fallen into a trance, that having his eyes open.
All right. They're bringing up a parable. That's their message to them. All right. The man whose eyes are open. All right. So he's starting to see things. All right. Most High is allowing him to see things in the spirit. All right. Why we know it has to be in the spirit? Because this is not something of his own. All right. The Most High let him see it. And this is why, verse 4, he have said, okay, which heard the words of God, which saw the vision. Listen, he saw the vision of the Almighty, falling into a trance, but having his eyes open, right? So you see, sometimes you'll see on movies and stuff like that, they'll have certain oracles or prophets, they'll have certain things, and sometimes they'll fall to a trance, they'll be eyes closed and stuff, and they'll say this message, and sometimes they'll fall out, or sometimes their eyes open, they just go into it. So this is, those things happen as we see here. All right. But his eyes were open. So he's falling in his trance. He's basically going into the spirit while being present. He ain't having his eyes closed or anything like that. He's looking and he just most eyes showing him. Okay. So once again, he didn't see the Almighty. So the vision of the Almighty, right? Difference. Let's keep going. Unless somebody has something. Check the chat. Right, we're good. All right, let's keep going then.
How goodly are thy tents, O Jacob, and thy tabernacles, O Israel. As the valley are they spread forth, as gardens by the riverside, as the trees aloes which Yahweh hath planted, and as cedar trees beside the waters.
Let's keep going.
He shall pour the water out of his buckets, and his seed shall be in many waters. And his king shall be higher than Agag, and his kingdom shall be exalted.
So let's unpack this a little bit, right? How goodly are the tents, the dwelling place where we dwell, O Jacob, and thy tabernacles, O Israel. So, beloved, once again, remember, he's in the spirit. Okay? Remember, he was looking at him. He not going to the enchanting stuff. So he knew about that kind of stuff. He dealt with that. Some people want to just look at the discrediting and, he dealt with enchantments and stuff like that. Think about that. He knows the dealing of that stuff. So he would know the difference, right? Because some people now, they don't know nothing about the spirit, so Satan can be using them and they think it's of God. But he already knows the one side. So with him saying this, he knows something different. He's like, I'm not even seeking champions. I'm actually looked out at him. And God is what? This is what he's saying. Where's that? He have said, which have heard the words of God. He's talking about himself, which saw the vision of the Almighty fall into a trance, right? By having his eyes open. So God is actually what? Showing him something. What is he realizing? Should have realized before. Israel got favor from God. I hope we can catch that thing, right? He's looking at him saying, how goodly are the tents? He's only just what? Testifying how God is what? Blessing us. Blessed us. Right? Both. He started to testify. The valleys are to spread forth as gardens by the riverside, right? The trees of line aloes with the Yahweh have planted, right? He shall pour out water out of his bucket. Think about that. And his seed shall be in many waters. All right. Probably some deeper stuff we can grab from that as well. He's saying what Most High is doing for us. And his king shall be higher than Agag, and his kingdom shall be exalted. All right, get a little bit of foreshadowing. Let's keep going. You stopped at 7, right?
Uh,
All right, let's keep going now. Too far.
God brought him forth out of Egypt. He had, as it were, the strength of a unicorn. He shall eat up the nations, his enemies, and shall break their bones and pierce them through with his arrows. He crouched, he lay down as a lion, and as a great lion, who shall stir him up? Blessed is he that blesseth thee. Slack, you had a call coming in. Oh, goodness. Blessed is he that blesseth thee, and curses he that curseth thee.
Uh-oh. All right. So he's saying, listen, God brought them out of Egypt. He, as it were, the strength of a unicorn, right? He brought us out very strong, almost like a rhino. He shall eat up the nations, his enemy. Listen to that. He shall eat up the nations, his enemies, and shall break their bones and pierce them through with his arrows. I'm reading this again. He shall eat up the nations, his enemies. All right. So a lot of times, beloved, even when we're doing certain things, it wasn't always, oh, well, Israel went out the war, they didn't do it. Listen, the Most High will use it as an instrument for his judgment as well. Okay? So it's like, yeah, he will get people that mess with us, that come to his enemies, and he'll deal with it. And there were some others that just like when we go to the promised land, like, oh, Israel just came in there, just destroyed and wiped people out. They weren't doing nothing. They just bullied them right and everything. No, who land is that? Most High. And since they were not dealing in the land properly, actually said the land will spew you out. But what? He get you kicked out. He went there, you gonna get kicked out of my land. How did he do it? Use Israel as the vessel. Sometimes don't get caught up on the vessel. You understand who's using the vessel, all right? If he's using the vessel, that's the Lord's vengeance with some of these things, okay? So yeah, someone don't have to be your enemy per se or anything like that, but the Most High viewed him as that, okay? So this is where sometimes we will just follow through. Because you might get some slick people that might want to use that. Okay, so he says he layeth down as a lion, as a great lion, all right? Who shall stir him up? As much as he's so caught up, that king is so caught up on cursing them, he's not understanding all the blessings that's coming through this message. Because if he can understand the message, excuse me, beloved, if he can understand the message, he should know, just stop. Tell him right there. He's like a lion, not a regular lion, a great lion. Beloved, we know about lions, right? We don't want to mess we don't want to mess with a small lion, let alone a great lion. He's saying this is what Israel is, a great lion. Who's going to stir him up? Who's going to start with him? Who's going to give him a reason to get up? Blessed is he. And as we say, blessed he that blessed thee, and curses he that cursed thee. See, this is what Israel is. If you bless him, you can be blessed. You curse him, you're going to be cursed. And that's something strong, beloved. So the Most High see it. And this is not something new. Remember, we read in, was that Genesis, Brother Cobb? Was that Abraham, with Abraham? Jacob, right? Our forefathers we already got the promise that what? Those that bless you will be blessed, those that curse you will be cursed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that don't mean, I was trying to get this right. That don't mean they were always going to live in, oh, I'm going to be part of this, I'm going to serve God. No, that don't always mean that. But sometimes you have some people that's, they just don't serve God and everything, but they'll do good to you. Sometimes the Most High will reward them. So the blessing works. All right. Now to be blessed, to stay in that space of being blessed, that's where the servant God is. All right. But a blessing, you can receive something. All right. What do one of us good, Most High can reward them with something. But to be blessed, right, to receive the kingdom and stuff like that, now you have to actually get into this. All right. You got to actually walk this walk. But let's go. All right. So he said, blessed is he that blessed thee, curse he that cursed thee. verse 10. Verse 10.
And Balak's anger was kindled against Balaam, and he smote his hands together. And Balak said unto Balaam, I called thee to curse my enemies, and behold, thou hast altogether blessed them these 3 times. Therefore now,
Go ahead.
therefore now, flee thou to thy place. I thought to promote thee unto great honor, but lo, Yahweh hath kept thee back from honor.
Said, man, I told you, if you curse them, I'm going to promote you. You can basically get anything, right? But guess what? This guy that you over here speaking for, you know that one's held you back. You ain't gonna get a promotion because you trying to stay with the message that this guy gave you. See, a lot of people will fold. A lot of people say, for that promotion, what I mean, I'll kind of mix the message out, what I mean? Because he could have just lied to him, to be honest, beloved. He, oh yeah, go ahead, blah blah blah, and receive these riches. But he chose to stand on the word of God. All right, because he knew this thing was real. See, when you play with all that falsehood and that kind of stuff, when you run into something real, you realize the difference. You're like, this thing ain't no enchantment. This ain't the little stuff that I was dealing with. This is the real deal. And he had enough respect to say, nah, I'm just gonna give you whatever, how it says. We, Israel, we the ones so confident of going against the word of God. All right. And that's the sad part about it. All right. But he said, man, I paid you to curse them and you done blessed them. All right. He's heated. All right. You blessed them 3 times. I'm telling you, curse them 3 times, they left with a blessing. Right. And I'm over here sacrificing and you keep blessing them with it. But let's keep going. Let's keep going.
And Balak said unto and Balaam said unto Balak, Spake I not also to thy messengers, which thou sentest unto me, saying, If Balak would give me his house full of silver and gold, I could not go beyond the commandment of Yahweh to do either good or bad of my own. But what Yahweh saith, that will I speak.
Yeah, like I told you that from the rip. I can't do nothing. I thought you were getting, it don't matter how much you pay me, I can't go further than what the message is. I'm giving you the message. All right. So he said, as we said, to either good, whether it's good or bad of my own mind. He said, I can't do that. Okay. So, beloved, this is how you got to do it. So when we get in, somebody asks you something about the Most High God and stuff like that, your thought shouldn't be, well, I'm going to try to twist this right. All right. All that's going to do is get you cursed. All right. We stay to what the scriptures say. Let's keep going.
And now behold, I go unto my people. Come therefore, and I will advise thee what this people shall do to thy people in the latter days.
No. So yeah, I go into my people, come therefore, and I'm going to advertise what this people shall do to thy people. And what? You say right now or what? The latter days. All right. So that's futuristic. Latter days or later days, right? Futuristic. So sometimes, beloved, you're going to see things in the scriptures, and sometimes they'll say in the latter days or stuff like that. Sometimes it could be, it could be 20 years from now. It could be 100. It could be 300, 500. It could be something that happened, maybe even 1,000, going to Christ's time, depending on some of the prophets. Some of them go beyond that, right? Some might be talking about the last days when Christ coming, okay? So you have to understand that. You got to see the context that, the person's talking about, okay? But sometimes you'll have those kind of debates where a prophet's saying something like, oh, see, it happened here. 50 years later, this is where it happened. And you got somebody saying, no, it happened here. And it was, maybe 500 plus years and it got fulfilled. I believe sometimes it can be both. Sometimes it is one main thing, right here you see it fulfilled. And sometimes I think the Most High can do two with one. All right. He's that good, beloved. All right. But don't ever let those kind of things discourage you. All right. Because some men have gone and so caught up on that kind of stuff and lost the big goal of it. All right. If the Most High said it, it happened. Whether you got it in 50 years, it happened. That's the point, beloved. Okay. So don't go down, as Brother Cobb say, the rabbit hole on some of these things. All right. A lot of people have got messed up with it. All right. But let's keep going. That's another time.
And he took up his parable and said, Balaam, the son of Beor, have said, and the man whose eyes are open have said, he have said, which heard the words of God, and knew the knowledge of the Most High, which saw the vision of the Almighty falling into a trance for having his eyes open.
Very important, beloved. All right. So he's reiterating the same point. The man whose eyes are open. Okay. Remember, and this is the beautiful part. Why are they saying it? It's not they, if he was in the trance, his eyes would close, something that'd be different. But remember, he went in the trance with his what? Eyes open. So why is he saying that the man whose eyes are open have said? His eyes, he's talking about something what? Spiritual. All right. Something was closed, something was shut up, even the knowledge and stuff. But God is what? God has opened it up to him. Okay. And this ain't the first only time the Most High opened things up. Okay. Even with the disciples, when Christ was on the scene, he said, what? Open up their understanding. All right. And they got understood. So sometimes, even beloved, you want to have patience with some people because sometimes the Most High doesn't open up their understanding of certain things. And sometimes we get frustrated, we take it personal, right? With somebody not getting something that we may see clear. But no, if you feel like somebody is struggling and they're not getting it, and they're really, it seems like they're really trying to, that's the time you need to hold up. Ask the Most High. This is the time you need to intercede on their behalf. Lord, please open up their understanding that they can receive your words. Because sometimes we get caught up and we try to give them what we feel like they should get. We're trying to, do it. But we need to sometimes, as the messenger, need to make sure we are in line with the Most High and submitting and understand that it's Him. Lord, what should I give them? Instead of, oh, I'm just going to give them this. Oh, I know this, I'm going to give them this. No, Lord, you direct if I should give them words or if I shouldn't. Right? How do you want me to approach the situation? All right, that's being led by the Spirit, constantly acknowledging Him. All right, so he falls to a trance with the eyes open. All right, and let's see what he is going to say. Say, I knew the knowledge of the Most High God. Did he understand all the knowledge of the Most High God? Absolutely not. All right, but the Most High did open up and gave him some knowledge. Okay, he did get some knowledge, some understanding. All right, let's see what he's about to say with this. All right, he gave a nice little introduction. Verse 17. Listen to this.
I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and their sceptre shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and destroy all the children of Sheth.
Mhm.
And Edom shall be a possession. Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do violently.
So he is prophesying about what? Something happened. So you have to look at who is that star out of Jacob, who is that scepter that shall rise out of Israel. All right. And then it's telling you what this individual is going to be doing: smite the corners of Moab and destroy all the children of Sheth. Okay. And verse 18, the brother Kai said, and Edom shall be a possession. All right. Seir shall also be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly. All right. So he's going in the spirit and seeing what? Something that's going to come to pass. Okay. I'm trying to think. I don't know if you heard, Brother Kai, if they have different, if people have different understandings of this one, of who this is. Trying to think if I heard anybody. A lot of times the collective belief is Christ, but I'm trying to think if I heard somebody that
Some people say it's David.
David or something. That's
Yeah,
all.
yeah, yeah, because he possessed Edom and in these other countries. He went to war with. So
So this is what I tell you. Sometimes, depending on who you talk to,
right.
sometimes they'll have different variations. All right.
Hmm.
Nonetheless, for me, it's not the greatest deal in the world.
Right.
If it was David, all right. If it's Christ, regardless, at the end of the day, he is pushing something forward that did happen.
Hmm.
Okay, and like I said, it could be a similitude of both. Sometimes with Christ, sometimes it'll have like a similitude, or almost like I'm gonna say like a baby version, right, of him. Like with Moses, he was
Hmm.
doing a lot of things that's similar, but you see Christ go do it on a big scale, right? You're gonna look at, David, but you're gonna see Christ gonna do it on a different scale.
Uh,
The wisdom of Solomon, but he's gonna do it on a different scale. So some
mhm,
of these things will fall like that. And sometimes it is both, and sometimes we're so busy arguing our points that sometimes we don't even try to see the common ground. I'm learning to say, you know what, let me listen and see.
mhm,
If it falls in place, okay, it will be David. But just because it could be David don't mean it can't be Christ, right? Same thing, vice
right.
versa, right? If it fits for both, okay, it might fit both, right? So once again, there's certain strongman arguments I'm not going to fully get into, but I can see both how somebody can interpret it for either one. Okay, but I won't even dive into that right now. All right. Anybody got anything for anything we read so far? And if y'all don't know about the scepter is like rule. It's like that. If you remember the story of Esther, he held out the scepter and stuff like that. It's like the rulership. So there is a correlation with this scepter, and it talks about scepter when it talks about prophesying about Christ and stuff. All right, but let's keep going. Let's keep going.
I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. Oh, I read this already, so
And I'm sorry, and with that point of why, once again, now it depends on people's doctrine as well, right? He wouldn't have lasted till David's time. Wait, how far are you back? Yeah, we saw most times. So he
mhm,
would have to be very old to get to David,
mhm,
right? And then, so if he died, that's gonna be a problem because then he gotta say basically, I'm beholding all this kind of stuff. So this is why out of us, for me, right, my understanding, I was
mhm.
pushing for the Christ. He's getting the knowledge of Christ. Like I'm
Right.
going to, I'm gonna behold him, but not I. But that's what he's saying. Not now, but
Mhm,
I'm going to behold him, right? So this is what kind of get for some people. A lot of sometimes even some of the so-called Jews or whatever you want to have, right? Some of
mhm.
them have a trouble with this scripture. Some of them actually have trouble with this.
Right.
Sometimes they think it's over, Christ saying something. So sometimes they're like, I don't know who this is. Because if I do say what I might think it is, it's going
Mhm.
to hurt my doctrine, right? So you will have some of this. Some people might say if you believe in uh the reincarnation thing and come back a couple of generations, somebody might use that for David, right? That's what I'm saying. Doctrines, they can, maneuver something where you'd be like, oh, well, it fit here. Sometimes some people doctrines, certain anything can almost fit depending on somebody's doctrines. All right. So just make sure you're careful, beloved. All right. But yeah, let's keep going. We need to open up that door.
Out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city.
Hmm.
And when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever.
Mm, that's not good. Right. Like I said, he was the first of the nations, but what? His latter end, he ain't making it to the end. That's what they saying. He might have been the first, but he ain't making it to the end. Okay, keep going. He's prophesying he's in the spirit, beloved.
And he looked on the Kenites, and it took up his parable, and said, Strong is thy dwelling place, and thou puttest thy nest in a rock. Nevertheless, the Kenites shall be wasted until Ashur shall carry thee away captive.
Yeah. I think there was something with him and Moses' father-in-law people. I think they were saying some correlation between them. They might be from the Kenites or something like that. I'll have to look that back up. But it might be correlation with that. So nonetheless, it don't have to be, remember, because he's in the spirit, beloved. I want to say that because um he can go in times, right? When you're in the spirit, this is what he's saying, I'm getting the knowledge of God because what? Man can't be going taking you further in the future and all that kind of stuff and seeing the details and accuracy. So he knows it's of God. So he's in the spirit. So this is what I'm saying. This could be something that's happening later down the road. All right. It don't have to be happening right there in that generation. Right. But he is telling you what is going to happen. Okay. Can't take that away. Okay? But go ahead, finish it up, huh?
Uh, I'm looking at the correlation,
Mm-hmm.
and it says his latter end. I think it's in Judges 6:3. Let me see. You got
Yeah.
First Samuel 14 and 48. You got First Samuel 15 and 3 through 8. It's a bunch of them if y'all wanted to read it on your own, but it's a bunch of them.
So it seems like they're still around, at
Right.
least till that time.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah. And yep.
so something to look at. Like I said, you can dive into a lot of these things. It's certain books. Just be careful what books you look at and stuff like that. Sometimes when you deal with books, personal books, some of them good when they grab in history, but sometimes they come with a preconceived notion or a teaching or doctrine that comes with it. So when you look at it, somebody might have an idea of something, and a lot of times with research, they're just searching the things that support their ideas.
Yep.
So this is why with any research paper, you have to be very mindful of somebody bringing something out, because if you're really true to just finding out the truth, you won't just should have favoritism on just the things that support it. You can either look at the stuff that may not go that way, right? But a lot of times with a lot of these books, stuff like that, they'll grab stuff, they'll grab all the sources that flow with it, and they're going to sometimes ignore some of the things that might be a straight contradiction to it. So this is why, I don't always push for you to just read anything. Sometimes you got to read know who the author who's writing it, what his denomination was, because sometimes they're purposely trying to lead some people astray or mess people up and things of that nature. So just a little caveat to remember. All right. But go ahead, you can finish it up. I don't have nothing else.
And he took up his parable and said, at last, who shall live when God doeth this? And ships shall come from the coast of Chittim, and shall afflict Ashur, and shall afflict Eber, and he also shall perish forever. And Balaam rose up and went and returned to his place, and Balak also went his way.
And that ended it.
Mm.
Right? That's scary, beloved. Who shall live when God
Mm.
doeth this? All right, so that's telling you what kind of judgment is about to say. They're like, man, it's gonna be like everything so bad, and it seems like who gonna be? Is there gonna be any survivors? All right, but yeah, we'll end it there. We'll end it there. All right. Anybody have anything? It's a short chapter. Wasn't too much into it, but once again, it's still necessary. Understand who we are, the protection that the Most High has given us if we're staying consistent to His word. All right. And understanding that nobody can curse us, beloved. All right. If anything bad, any curse, if feel like we got a curse upon us, it's strictly because the Most High allowed it. All right. And if you feel that the Most High is allowing a curse to happen, beloved, to get that off you, you should know you need to consider what? And go to the source. All right. If you really feel like you're on the bad, I'm throw them other words in the worldly words in it. If you feel that the Most High, right, and smack you upside the head, all those kind of things, that's the time, right, to go and seek the Most High God. All right. He might be just trying to get your attention for something. All right. But you need to seek Him. Don't be like the world and start getting upset and starting to say, I don't deserve this. And look at this person over here doing worse than me. See, that's the devil trying to mess us up and to get us destroyed. All right. So, beloved, let's be encouraged. Let's be encouraged. Let's seek the Most High God. All right. With all our heart, soul, mind, and strength. For this is the whole duty of man.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So those that are watching online through YouTube, we are going to end it here. All right. We say shalom and shalom and shalom to you, our YouTube family. And we say ultimately, Ayana Habatham, which means we love you all. Truly do. Shalom.